All right. Hello, hello, everyone. I am super excited to be chatting for this month's Black Business Connector feature interview with Veroniqua Delva. Hi, Veronica.
Hi, how are you?
I'm great. How are you doing?
I'm awesome. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Oh, you're welcome. I'm so excited because you are the first inventor that I've interviewed. And I know that there are other entrepreneurs out there who maybe want to be inventors but don't know what they want to invent yet, or have ideas but are feeling overwhelmed by the process. So I'm excited to chat with you.
Yes, me too.
Yes. So just to introduce you first, so this is Veroniqua Delva. She is an inventor and founder of the Magic Boob Bra. Very, very, very useful if you are a woman. And her mission is to empower women to feel confident and sexy. And she is also a community leader because she's a member of the National Coalition of 100 Black Women, the Long Island chapter. She's also a mom. And because she's an educator and school leader, she is really making lots of impact in the community. So thank you for all your service.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. So tell the world a bit about yourself more and your businesses.
So let's see. By day, right? I'm Dr. Veroniqua Delva. Um, I guess after the workday, I am a mom. Well, no, I'm an inventor. I am a mom all days, right? All times. And I just like making people feel good, whether it be the children that I interact with on a daily basis, whether it be the educators I interact with in my line of work, or women that I interact with my bra. I think I was put on, this earth to be a servant leader in all areas and to be of service to others. So it makes me feel good when others feel good because of something I've done, something I've said, something I've provided them with. And I think that's what fills my cup day in and day out.
Yes. And as a woman who's doing a lot, right? It's important that you're comfortable because then when you're comfortable, you have more confidence you bring into the school or bring into whatever area, even with your parenting, right? It's so important to be comfortable because sometimes those jobs are not easy.
That this is very true. Um, so yeah, I think, and speaking about comfort, I came up with the Magic Boob Bra as at first it was just like something I was just like, oh, let me see, what this product is all about. I've seen it like on the internet where, it's very popular now, the adhesive bras,
Yeah.
or the adhesive cups, to provide women with the lift. So I was like, this is something that I want because ultimately I do want to be able to wear certain shirts, certain dresses. And I think after being a mom and my weight fluctuating, my breasts they were not able to look the part based on my definition.
Right.
Um so I thought about, going through the process of surgery. I did research that, but I was scared, um, especially with the risks associated with surgery. So I kind of like toyed with the idea back and forth. And the year that I actually put Magic Boob Bra on the market, that same month I was scheduled for a consultation. And after hearing so much feedback, I canceled the consultation. I was supposed to, I believe if I'm not, it was January 16th of that year. But I received so much positive feedback from the product. It's something that I had for 3 years. I was just wearing it. I never put it out on the market. My friends would ask me about it all the time. Oh my God, did you get surgery? Did you get your boobs? And I'm like, no, I didn't. Like, no. Um,
Lovely.
this is me. And they asked me about it. And, I was like, whatever, like this is just something regular. And then one day I went out to dinner with my niece, who I'm very close with, and she just could not stop asking me. And I'm like, girl, you see me all the time. You talk to me. If I would have gotten surgery, you would have been one of the first to know. And I went home that night, and I could not sleep. I
Ah,
woke up in the middle of the night, tossing and turning. And I felt in that moment, it was God like telling me like, hey, put this out there. And I followed my spirit. And the next day I woke up, I was like, this is what I'm gonna do. So I started talking to my friends about it. I just like put it on social media, not even thinking about an invention yet. Just
ah,
like, hey, this is something that I did. I'm gonna make it. And then I end up finding out, researching about patents and, how you need to make sure this is something that you're protecting. And I'm like,
right.
patents, an inventor.
Yes.
Um, and then I went for it. I researched like the process. I asked one of my lawyer friends to put me in connection with someone who was a patent lawyer. And that is how I became an inventor.
I love it. You said something that made me smile because a lot of times we're praying and we're like, God, give me witty inventions. And he's like, silly child. I gave you a witty invention. Sometimes
Mhm.
the thing is right underneath our nose and we don't even realize it. But your niece really kind of lit a fire under you, it sounds
Yeah.
like. Yeah.
And I think sometimes also it's like we're given a sign or we're given the call, and like we sometimes like, no, I can't be an inventor. I can't do this. Like, what? Who's gonna like want to buy my product? And I tend to second guess myself a lot, but I can assure you that was one of the first times I did it. I was like, I'm gonna go for it. This is it. Like, I'm gonna put it out there. And it's been a process, but I've learned so much. And I think one of the best things for me is when I started reaching out to different women and realizing that they all shared the same thing as me.
Yeah.
And I think that was the most powerful moment for me. Like, wow, like you're feeling like this too? Like you thought of this? Like you're looking for this product? You're scared of surgery too? And I felt like I had to do it. Like it was a need. And, and throughout the beginning process, I would do like pop-up shops, going out, making myself known. And it was just interacting with the women that were like so excited. And I think through their passion for it is what sparked more of a passion in me, because I did it because I'm like, let's all look pretty, let's all look good. But what it did to some people is something I didn't imagine. I didn't think of like how like they were like, it makes me feel so great. It makes me feel so good. And that is what continued. Even like, when it's difficult, I'm like, hey, there's someone waiting for this. There's something that is someone out there that's super appreciative of this. There's a woman out there like, hey, I could wear this and wear that. And that's what makes me happy.
Yes, I've seen it because we met at a pop-up shop. So I've seen
Yeah.
it and it does. And I do use the stick-on things, but I
Mhm.
feel like while they give like more shape or definition, they really don't lift quite the way my heart would desire.
Mhm.
Versus the way yours is designed and the way it's designed to fit and everything feels like I haven't tried it yet. But it feels like it, or it looks like it would do everything that you're
And I
saying all the women have said it does. Yeah.
and I think like that was one of the main things for me, because what was on the market wasn't working.
Yeah.
What was currently on the market was for women who already had a breast augmentation. So yes, that's why when you stick it on, it looks great. And these models that are like marketing it, they look so amazing. And I'm just like, this is not for the regular women out there. This is not for the moms. This is not for your day-to-day, females. So I think that was one of the things. It was just like, this is actually false advertising. Like, this is not working.
Yeah.
And I think that's what like pushed me more. Like, I have to figure out how to make this work for the regular women without any surgery. That's like their weight fluctuating. Like, how do I make this work for the woman who had a child, who's breastfed? How do I make this work for the woman who had breast cancer and lost one of her breasts, but she still wants the other breast to look like that? So those are all the things that came to mind. Like, I need this product to work for all women, despite what stage they are in. And what was out there, it wasn't doing that.
Yeah. And I'm curious, do your students know that
So no, they don't know, but some of like my daughter's friends will know. They're like, oh, I heard you like invented something. So they'll know like I'm an inventor, but they don't know exactly what. But that alone, because I'm an inventor, they're like, that's so cool. Like, how did you do that?
Yeah, because back when I was in the classroom, I was a teacher, like we were talking about offline. And I always felt like it was good for my students to see that their teacher was actually also living in the real world and sometimes was like struggling and working at things, just sometimes students like, oh, you're a teacher and you just have it all together, or it's easier. I don't know. They're like, kids are weird,
You're,
whatever they think.
you're
And,
absolutely right. Because
and
when I was younger, like I thought teachers were like untouchable. Like, you're not real. Like, what do you
they're
do
not
after
real.
what do you do after the workday? Like, you have a home? Like, like, oh my, like you have a real life outside of school. So I can relate. I definitely used to think the same thing about my teachers. Like, I couldn't believe like they were real after the school day. Um, but yes, I think for some of them it's like the beginning of my career a lot was like with the younger folks, I think, with my daughter and her friends, um, especially because I invite my daughter with me. She was a really instrumental in supporting me in the beginning. She was my marketing person. She was, taking the pictures with me when I was going around to interview the women. She was there. She was at the pop-up shops with me. She would do the packaging with me. So I think her being involved in the process, so when she's able to speak to her friends about it as well. But for me, even alone being able to have her part of that, I think also speaks volumes, because she's seen me from the beginning, and though I'm not nowhere near the end, but having her be part of the process is very important to me as well.
yeah, that's so important. And then even for our children to see that we're real people.
And it's hard.
Yeah, and it's hard. And then they feel, I apologize for this. I don't know. I got a new phone and things are somehow connected to my screen in ways that my old phone were not. So yes. So yeah, because and then there's like a partnership and like the parent is guiding the child, but then the child also feels empowered to support the parent. It's like beautiful. I love it. I love that for you guys. So I think, oh, you're welcome. So I think we maybe touched on it, but just to be clear, where all do you get your inspiration from?
So I think a lot of it honestly comes from my day to day. When I'm like, okay, what could I do next? Like, what's working, what's not working? And then also like I ask for feedback. I'm very big on feedback. Like even when I started out, like that's why I made sure I use real women, like so you can give me real feedback, like what works, like try it on, like the straps, the adhesive, how's the color. The reason that now I have different colors is because that was feedback from the women. The reason I switched the straps from the beginning, that was feedback from the women. The reason like now I'm expanding is feedback from the women. So a lot of it is like, while I too knows what feels comfortable to me and what I want, a lot of it is really because of the feedback from women, because I think it's important that I'm listening to the customers because they're the ones wearing it. Like
Right.
I'm the inventor. I can manipulate the product and make it work for me, right? But they don't have that same mindset that I'm having as the inventor. So they're just taking it face value, like, okay, this is a bra and I'm gonna put it on. So I really credit a lot of it to them. And because without their feedback, I wouldn't be able to make the changes. Like just recently, one of my girlfriends gave me feedback and she was like, you know, I didn't mean to be like come across like that. I'm like, girl, it's okay. Cause you know what? Your feedback now, I'm gonna change the next order and I'm gonna make a change to that. And what you're thinking, I'm sure there's others thinking it. So like I'm very big on feedback and asking them their thoughts and whatever they want. If I can do it, literally, I'm like, all right, the next shipment, I got you. The next time I'm going through the next phase, I'm gonna do this. So I really credit a lot of it to the customers.
Yeah. And then they know that you're valuing them and then they will continue. It's like part of that know, like, trust. They can trust that they're getting a product that really is suitable for them and really quality.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I love it.
Thank you.
So I want to, especially from like the legal standpoint, talk a bit more about the process because I know that's something that is a mystery. It can be complicated. You used a lawyer. I'm glad to hear that. I know trademarking and patent is two different things, but I tried to do my own trademark initially for my business. It didn't work out so well, and I needed to hire a lawyer to undo the mess. And so I'm so happy you hired a lawyer. But what was the process like, just going the legal process of setting things up to protect your intellectual property?
I think for me in the beginning, when I came into this, like I had no knowledge, I had no experience, I knew nothing.
Yeah.
It was literally a girl with a dream and a bra. Like legit, like I had no idea. So I think because of the people that I had around me and their suggestions, like I can't take credit for any of it, to be quite honest. It
Mm.
was false. Like I truly believe in the power of a village. And I credit a lot of it to my village, of them telling me like, hey, you need to get a lawyer. And I'm like, I don't know one. Can you help me? I'm like, hey, I have one for you. Here's this lawyer. And it's like, you need to trademark this. Like, you can't continue, to move forward like this to trademark. And even through the trademark process, it was like, oh my God, you have to be careful how you say this. And you have
Yes.
to be careful with this. Someone has this. So the trademark process was daunting. The patent, like I'm currently patent pending. And I'm also still going through that process as well of getting like fully patent approved, but it is currently patent pending. But it was also a lot of me being an advocate for myself.
Mm.
Uh, hey, I'm paying you and I deserve to know this information. Hey, I haven't heard from you. Like, what is going on? Like, what's going on with my product? Because I think a lot of times we put all of our trust in these people and we kind of take a step back, like, oh, they're
Yeah.
the expert, like they'll figure it out, like they're gonna make sure to tell me the right things to do. And I had to do my own research. Like I
Mm.
need to know what I'm getting myself into, because I remember my first patent lawyer, he was charging me like loads of money, and I'm like, and it sounded so good,
Huh.
and I'm like, I need a second opinion. And I literally found someone else that was like half the price. And I think from that moment, I was like, you can't just go with the first person. You
Mm.
have to do your research. You have to compare the packages, see what they're giving you. And I'm still making mistakes. I'm still learning, but I think most of all, I think the most important thing is when dealing with professionals and your product and trying to protect your product is to make sure like this is your baby. No one is gonna love it like you. No one's going to protect it like you. No one's going to care about it like you. No one understands it like you. And I think in remembering that, I had to be like, no, call them 10 times, email them over and over,
Yeah.
because if you don't care about it, no one else will. So I had to make sure I did my research, and I had to continue to be an advocate for myself to make sure that I was protecting my product.
Yeah, that's a really good reminder. When I delegate something, tend to be in my mind going, okay, now someone else has got that situation on their plate, and now I can turn and attend to something else, which is true. But then after a week or so to follow up, right? Otherwise, they could take their sweet time and drag it out, and you think they're working on it, but maybe they're not. Yeah.
That's and I went through that because I had to experience that to know not to do it again, because I trusted that I'm paying them, they'll figure it out. And here I'm calling, hey, what's going on? There's no movement. How is there no movement? Like, are you reaching out to people? Like, oh, wow, we just realized they contacted us. So you realize because I reached out to you. So I had to learn that the hard way. And it's been a learning experience, but I think it's basically like with what you're saying, like making sure that that follow up, because you're delegating a task and you're expecting someone to take care of it, but no one's going to take care of it like you're going to take care of it.
No one will give it the same love and TLC. And
Mhm.
you got rid of a lawyer and hired a new one. So you weren't afraid to just
And I
come
wouldn't
on.
say I was afraid because I felt a little bad. I'm like, oh my God, I had a whole conversation, a whole consultation. They're telling me all these things. And I'm just like, so I did go through that at first, but I was like, I'm not getting myself into this a contract like this that I can't. It's impossible. So, and I had to also remember, like, it's a business out here,
Yeah.
and everyone's in it for the business. So it's not personal, it's business.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's what I had to think of to just make sure that I can't move forward with this.
Yeah. Yeah. I had that issue with a website designer for the Black Business Connector. The first one, I was just not at all what I was expecting at all, not even a little bit. It was the trashiest, most unprofessional looking site. I mean, I could have built better by myself. And I just had to take the loss and be like, no, I don't even want you to try to fix this.
Mhm,
Please don't.
mhm,
And just hire someone and start all over.
mhm, mhm. It's that
Yeah.
starting over part.
Yeah. But it's always worth it because
Yes.
then it gets done well. Yeah. Yeah. So, all right. I do think it's really important if we're going to be in this game for the long run, business and life, even, we need to take care of ourselves. But you are in a couple of very high energy demanding roles, motherhood, which never ends, right? You're a mother till you're 110. Like that's it. um, and then you're an educator, and I know that takes a lot. And the business end, and then even your other community leadership roles with 100 Black women. So when do you take time for yourself? How do you, I don't even want to say balance, because I feel like balance means like you have to let something go in a weird way, but like harmonize. How do you live in like a harmony and manage to still take care of yourself?
Um, it's been a process and I'm still learning, but I had to learn the power of no.
Ah,
And it was difficult for me because I don't like to let people down. I like to be there for folks. But I learned that, and my favorite quote, I tell you can't pour from an empty cup. And that's what I found to happen. Like I was running from this place to another. And I honestly, because I recently earned my doctorate, and I think it was through that program where I had to learn that you can't do it all because something's going to fail. Um, and some days it's like, okay, from my 8 to 4, I'm devoting this time to my job. I'm going to give it all that I have. When I come home, I have to be a mom. and I'm going to devote my time to my daughter. On the weekends, hey, if I'm going to devote some time to my business, you know, to my organization here and there, making sure I make meetings. But I also have to rest. Like, I love sleep. Like, all my friends know I love sleep. I love to take a nap. Um, and then my mental state. I think therapy has helped me a lot. I'm a true believer of therapy. From the moment I started therapy to where I'm at now, it has helped me navigate a lot in my life, whether it be conflict resolution, you know, workplace, motherhood, friendship, relationships. Um, and I think when I'm in a good mental state, it's easier for me to be able to function in all areas of my life.
Yeah.
Um, I don't think, right, I don't think I balance them very well, to be quite honest. But I am very honest. So I'm honest to my friends, like, hey, I can't be the friend that's gonna be there at every single function, but the important ones, I promise you I'm gonna be there. Um, I do want to make sure, like for my daughter, I show up, you know, she's about to turn 16. And I think it's important of course, at this time in her life that, you know, I'm showing up for her, but I also have to, you know, speak to her. Like, there's some days like I need to rest.
Mm.
Um, and, you know, and apologizing. Like, I remember telling her throughout my doctoral program, and I said to her, like, I'm sorry if I wasn't a great mom during this time. Um, but to me, I'm thinking I'm not a great mom, and I'm like trying not to be emotional. But to her, she just sees someone that's super hardworking. So I think through being transparent and honest to the folks in my life, it makes it a little easier for me. I feel like also when signing up for things, to know that, like, if I can't do it, I can't do it. So I think being in leadership, like, that was also a huge transition. So leaving the classroom to then becoming a school leader was like a whole different ball game. And being able to understand, like, if this is what you're going to do, like, you have to be ready.
Yeah.
So it mindset is important. I'm learning to be kind to myself, to give myself grace. Um, I was listening to a sermon the other day, and it's something that I'm working on, but it said your enemy is your inner me.
Yeah.
Um, so like being kind to myself, like speaking positivity and not being negative, understanding that every day is not going to be a great day. And I was telling that to a student, like, you know, just because we have a bad day, it doesn't make you a bad person.
Right.
So just because like today's a bad morning doesn't mean you're a bad child. Like, we're human, like we're able to have bad days. No one has good days. So being able to understand that and not being so hard on myself, because I am super hard on myself. Like, I want to succeed, I want to do great. But understanding that it's okay to not be okay sometimes. It's okay to say it's okay to say no, like I can't do this. And taking accountability when you fall short. I'm sorry, I did drop the ball here, but here's what I'm going to do to make it up. So I think all those things help me when it comes to self-care. Um, I'm very big on like, I need to be good so I can be good to others. And I don't know how I do it. I don't have the secret sauce. Um, I'm super thankful. I pray and I ask, you know, God to help me navigate the different things in my life. I ask for wisdom, understanding, and knowledge. I ask for patience and grace. I ask to be a good listener so that I can listen to the things that people are telling me, to be able to empathize with the people in my life. Um, yeah, I don't know how I do it, but I'm hanging on.
I feel like you gave a lot of reasons or tools how you do get it all done. Um, you know, it's kind of like a fine line. So on one end, it's like, how can I do all of this, right? Like, because where there is a will, there's a way. So sometimes we do have to like ask ourselves, okay, so how do I fit this all in? How can this get done? But then I think you gave something really key about honesty, and honesty, even after like trauma or heartbreak, anything is one of the key ingredients to being able to heal and to be able to like move on and have good relationships. And that would be whether you're a relationship with you and your daughter, you and your friends, it could be a romantic relationship, you and your students. But like honesty is key, is so important. And so the fact that you said you're honest with yourself, you're honest with your daughter. And then sometimes when we're honest, we think in our minds, especially like when we keep quiet and we like think it, overthink it rather, in our heads, we end up having a different perception than reality. So when you get it out and you say to your daughter, oh, I'm sorry. By the way, congratulations on your doctorate.
Yeah, thank you, thank you, thank
Yes,
you.
congratulations on that. That's amazing. But you say to your daughter, I apologize that I wasn't the best mom to you at this point. And she was like, well, you're really inspiring. I just think you're a really hard worker. You get it out and you're honest, and you end up realizing it's not as bad as you thought it was.
Agreed. It's not as bad as you thought it was.
Yeah.
That is key, because in our head we're thinking it's like, oh my God, and everyone's like, it's okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
and I think you only get that through being honest.
Only if you're honest. You can't get it because if you're not honest and you don't speak it out, then you continue to think that you're like the worst parent in the world.
Right,
Meanwhile, your
right,
daughter's ready to nominate you for Mom of the Year.
right. Agreed. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So, oh, good. I'm loving our conversations. This is such a good interview. Yes. So let's talk about the next level. What's the next level of success look like for you?
Um, so when I heard that question, I started to think like I think I'm still like a baby in this. Like I'm
No, that's okay.
still learning. I feel like some days it's a great day and I'm like, oh my God, I don't know a thing. I feel like the next level, like I am expanding. So Magic Boob is gonna fall under the umbrella of BriVé Intimates. Um, Trademarked officially. So I just
Congratulations.
received the no email about like last week. So it was, at first, the trademark was pending, it's official. So I look forward to expanding. And again, this is from women. Like I came with just an idea of a bra, and they're like, girl, we want this and we want that. Like, bring out the colors, bring out the designs. I'm like, you guys love this? Oh, thank you. So
Yeah.
I think that's what success looks like for me. I think also, I really want to get myself out there and network. I think coming into entrepreneurship, people think like I'm like an extrovert and I just love to talk and like love to be social. And although public speaking is my thing, like I don't mind, but it's because it's a wide audience. Like I don't have to interact, on a personal level.
Mm.
So I think for me is being able to network more and connect with women and hear their stories, what are their thoughts, and being able to learn. I am a lifelong learner, truly. And I'm always looking for information that I can learn, things that I can take on. How can I use this to be better? So I think for me, I want to become a better entrepreneur. I want to become a better businesswoman. I want to become a smarter businesswoman. So I'm really looking forward to grow, because I truly feel like I'm still in like the learning phase. And while others may not see it, I just want to like take it all in, so that I can be better. So I'm really looking to be in spaces with like-minded women, and connect with them.
Yes. I think that well, even people who are billionaires or have like built empires, they have their own mentors. Like you're saying, a lifelong learner, you always are trying to go from level to level to be able to improve whatever your product and service is, because then you can serve more people, you can serve them better. And you know, it's like you said, a lifelong process. We're all just at a different point in the process. But when we're around success-minded people, people who've done it before and know more than we are, then we get that.
Agreed. Yes.
Yeah. Cool. What, in your opinion, is the secret sauce that many entrepreneurs miss?
That you're gonna be rich right away. Like,
Oh my gosh, yeah.
oh my God, I'm an entrepreneur and I'm gonna be making so much money. But I think it's also this idea of I learned that everyone goes through it.
Mm,
And once I like started to like take a more deeper look into other entrepreneur stories and their process and how they got to where they are, I think that's what provided me some sense of comfort
uh,
that during those, lonely nights and those dark days, and it's like, wait, why am I not getting it? Why are things not moving? All successful entrepreneurs been through this phase.
yeah.
And they go through this process. And I think for anyone coming into entrepreneurship to know that, like, it's a
Mhm.
process,
Yeah.
regardless of if you start off great and you're at the top,
Yeah.
it comes down. You come down from the high. And to
Yeah.
know that, and I think during those moments are those moments where some folks tend to give up. And it's like, I can't do it. It's not happening. And I had those moments where I was like, is this like, is this really what you want me to do, God? Is this like, and I had to think, like, why would he give me a vision like this if he did not want me to make it great? And I think to always have that in the back of their mind, like,
Yeah.
everyone goes through this, like, it's going to happen, and don't give up. Like, don't give up.
Yeah.
That's what I think I would say to folks. I wish I had someone constantly telling me that. Like, I wish I like kind of knew sort of, but I had to like figure that out myself through research. Like, everyone's been through this and it happens.
Yeah. It does. And we learn so much from failure, right? Like you learned a lot when you had to fire your first attorney and hire someone new. Like you then knew, right, from the first failure to keep on top of things, to like maybe ask different questions, to look at packages differently, right? So even when it blows up in your face, it's okay. It just may, I think a lot of times it's because, and I know I'm guilty of it. I don't post all my it blew up in my face moments on social
Mhm.
media. But, you know, sometimes we get the wrong idea, especially new entrepreneurs, or maybe even people who've been in the game for a while. They still think, oh, you know, I should be past the point of failure. I've been at this for 10 years. I've been at this for 20 years. But it's like
Yeah.
the world changes. We have to pivot anyway.
And you know what? Another thing, like I just thought of also, ask for help. Ask for help. What do you think about this idea? Like, run it by your people. Even like people who you don't think want to hear it. Like, sometimes I'll just put a poll on social media and like people are like responding, hey, I think you should do this, right? And it's like it's free game and they're not asking for anything in return, but they want to help. So, and that's one thing I also had to do, like asking for help. Can you help me with this? What are your thoughts? Take a look at this. Like, do you think I should change it? Can you provide me with some feedback? So I think it's, again, I go back to the village, but not only your inner village, like opening it up to folks, of course, being careful, but sometimes we are not even realizing how much impact a stranger can have on us. And
Yeah.
just by asking or putting something out there, there are people that's just willing to just talk and connect. So I think that's also like part of the secret sauce, asking for help.
Yeah. So I'm thinking about Kodak while we're talking because they were in business. They were like the top of the line for like film and different things. And now they didn't change when the industry was changing.
Mhm.
So it doesn't matter whether you're a new entrepreneur and you're literally just starting and you've just filed and gotten your EIN number and you haven't gotten any further yet because that happened yesterday. Or if you've been in business and you're like the second generation of business owner, like your father, or your grandfather started the business, like you still have to, you could still fail and you still want to like figure out and do what you're suggesting of like taking feedback. Maybe if Kodak had taken some feedback on pivoting into digital,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Agreed. And you know what? It's also, but it's like education, right? You have to keep up with the culture, the economy, as they are moving, you have to move. If you stay back there, you're gonna get lost. So I think also with entrepreneurship is like that. You have to keep moving because like literally, and it goes back to servant leadership. And I think if as an entrepreneur, you know you're a servant leader, you'll go far. You are providing a service to folks, whether it be you are providing a product to them or you are providing an actual service. You are there for the customers. And I think sometimes entrepreneurs tend to forget that, like as they get successful, like you need the customers, you are a service to them. So if you're not keeping up with them, if you're not hearing them and doing the things for them, you're not going to have any more customers.
Customers after.
Literally, you are of service to them.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's what we are. Yeah. Even whether it's a product or a service-based business, you are serving them some sort of way. Yes. And there was something I wanted to add, and now I just it went out of my mind, but that's all right. So yes, I do want everyone to know where they can purchase from you, how they can connect with you. So yes, let's get that information out there.
Yes, guys, I am on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and a website, Magic Boob Bra. You guys can find us on all platforms. Instagram, Magic Boob, Magic_Boob, TikTok, Magic Boob Bra, Facebook, Magic Boob Bra.
Wait, hold on. I'm trying to write this down. I was like, wait, there was an underscore. That threw me off. Okay. So Facebook and TikTok are at Magic Boob Bra.
Yes.
Okay. So Facebook, TikTok. And then Instagram has an underscore in it.
Yes, Magic_Boob. And then the website is magicboob.com.
Yeah. .com. So they can order and go right there and order.
So
Yeah.
Facebook.com/magicboob, Instagram.com/magic_boob, website magicboob.com, and TikTok Magic Boob Bra.
Thank you. I love it. I can't wait to share this with everyone. And yeah. So, well, do you have any last thoughts or insights you would like to share with us before we end?
I just think it's important for women to stick together. I think as society continues, like we see a lot about people detaching from folks, being against folks, and I believe in unity, and I think we are stronger together. So I encourage folks, like if you see someone, if you are in a business that there and provide some insight, provide some tools, because I think at all points within our life, you know, like I remember I had a principal that said this to me, who also served as my mentor: everyone needs a rabbi.
Ah,
Everyone needs a rabbi.
mm,
So I think, especially in entrepreneurship, being a leader in education, being a mom, um, and being a friend, I think it's important to tap into folks. And as I be kind to yourself, take care of yourself. Mental health is important. And if we're not great, we can't be of great service to others.
yeah, we have to really look out for ourselves. And I interviewed someone once a couple years ago, and she said, "Be your own best friend," which I thought was a brilliant way to really sum things up, right? Who else can, I mean, who else could be our best friend
Yep.
better than us?
Yep. Agreed. Agreed.
Then we don't have to be our worst inner enemy.
Right. Because
Yeah,
if I'm my best friend, I don't want to be my enemy.
you can't be two things at once. You're going to either
Right.
be one or the other. So be your own best friend. Yes.
Agreed.
Yes. So thank you again so much for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. So have a good evening.
Thank you.
Oh, yes, you're welcome. Welcome.